Hey everybody, how are you? Um, what are you guys all doing for Thanksgiving? Are you going away? Are you having a dinner? Are you going to a dinner? Are you gonna cook? What's happening? If you're not cooking, are you bringing something? What are you bringing? So I had an order for 6 loaves for Friday. Plus I'm trying to make loaves for my daughter to take home. So I have been a baking freaking crazy machine, and the humidity's been getting to my dough and my starters. It's been quite humid here in the shoe swap. So I went online to figure out how to compensate for humidity, and it says to cut back in water and cut back on sourdough. So I did. Well, that didn't go so well. The loaves were very small and very dense. I'm sweeping, sorry. And fuck. So I couldn't charge full price because the loaves, they turned out magical, but I think they're going to be a little bit dense and they definitely are smaller loaves. So I didn't charge full price. And I think that's only fair, you know. I'm charging $15 now for specialty loaves because cheddar cheese and garlic, it's not cheap anymore, you know. But guess what I made? I made two sandwich loaves. We already ate one, but I'll show you. And guys, I got my thing of food safe gloves. My finger is much better. It's still sore, but it's peeling now because it had swole up so much. I don't know if the skin's shrinking down or what, but it's peeling. So gloves. But look at this delicious sandwich loaf, sourdough. And I buttered the top, so it's a softer crust. This is kind of the loaves I used to make as I was a kid. I learned how to make bread when I was 8 years old out at the farm with my Auntie Gwenny, and my middle name is Gwendolyn. I was named after her. She turned out to be a crazy motherfucker. Anywho, that's another story. Here's a sandwich loaf, and magical. Tom loves it. Just loves it. So it's greasy, so the gloves help with that. But I just came out of the oven. And I went back to my normal recipe. I've got 3 loaves proofing or bulk fermenting. We used to call it proofing, but bulk fermenting on the counter. That's how it gets sour the longer it proofs for. So I'll proof it overnight as well, and it gets more sour. And I'm making ice. So I will have 3 loaves, or 4 loaves for one lady and 2 loaves for another. I'm supposed to make 2 more cheddar garlic, or garlic cheddar sourdough, which these are. She's having a big Thanksgiving dinner, I guess. And I don't think I have enough garlic, but I'll try. I did buy some more cheddar, so I can do that. But you know, the $13 loaves, my loaves are pretty big for $15, and that's why I only charge $13 for these ones, because normally they fill my whole bag and I can only do 1 fold, and I could do 2 folds. So my loaf is a little bit smaller, so that's why I took $2 off. But my daughter is coming, and her boyfriend. Friday morning they're leaving, and they'll be here from Friday to Monday morning. And Tom's brother, who lives just 10 minutes down the road, and his sister-in-law are hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. So I want to get a loaf of bread done for that. And bake. That's all I do. So I got to feed the dough again tonight, or feed the starters again tonight. So anywho, but look what I did. I'm so cute. My kids, I loved Halloween, so my kids love Halloween as well. So I put some shit out for Halloween. Just stuff that I used to have when they were kids. It's nothing great. I'm not that spooky. Because I was the spooky. I used to dress up as a witch. Maybe I'll post that video that I did for my dealership that I was working for. I came to work dressed as the witch. And I mean, not a pretty sexy witch. I did the scary witch. And I used to stop at Tim Hortons all the time when I was dressed up for work in my witcher's costume, because I dressed as a witch for years. And I would stop at Tim Hortons and I would just stand in line in character. Because I took a little bit of theatrical makeup in drama in school. And I did my face and my body, everything green. And then wore a full witch's outfit with, I've got this great hat, which I'll show you in a second. And I had a broom, a witch's broom. So I would hold that broom and just stand there. And I had witch's shoes, everything. Like, it was a really good costume. I had a big hooked nose, wart, cleft in my chin, scary, really high arches I'd do. I did pretty good makeup. Anyway, and I would this one time I was standing behind a young girl. She was probably only about 4 or 5 years old. And she turned around and I went, "Hello, my dearie." She fucking started crying. I used to say, I lived on the corner of a very popular residential area in the west end of Edmonton, and we had this huge lot. And so I used to have music and creepy sounds coming out my door, and the sign said "The Witch is in," which I still have. And now I've got this witch haven thing over here that I'll show you. And kids grew up in that neighborhood for 10 years with me as the witch. And my own kids used to just love watching little kids come to the door, and I'd go, "What are you doing on my lot? Get off my lot!" I'd give them their candy, and then I'd chase them down the street, whacking their butts with my broom, cackling away. The next day I could barely speak because I always talked like this when I did the witch. And I miss doing that. And so I sold my house, I believe the sold sign was up, my big house during Halloween. And I did one last time as the witch at that neighborhood, which I said, all the kids grew up knowing I was there. And so I opened the door in character, as I always do. And a couple of dads were standing there with their kids that were now about 8 or 9 years old, video recording, because the sold sign was across my, I'm going to cry, was across my for sale sign. And they knew that that would be their last Halloween with the witch. So they videotaped and recorded me harassing their kids. And I used to mark down how many kids I used to get, and it would be, oh, I miss my kids being at home and being a mom. Anyway, and I would record how many kids, and usually it was around 165 to 175 kids. I think one year I had about 180 kids. And then I would also mark down how many cried. And I would consider it a successful Halloween if I made 6 or 7 cry. Anyways, just hang on. So this is my witch's hat, and it is it fits my head perfectly, and it goes straight up. I just got it crooked for this, but Tom had this, so I put that up. Isn't it cute? And this is what my youngest son, he made this. And my youngest daughter made this one, and oddly enough, she's an artist now. She has her art degree, and she's commissioned a few pieces now. And my son is an engineer, a petroleum engineer. My youngest ones. Anyways, peace out, everybody.
Come on down to Freedom Ford for the spookiest deals ever! Happy Halloween. Are you a beautiful unicorn?
Yeah.
You are? What am I?
You're a witch.
Am I scary?
Yeah.
Am I too scary?